All right, Greg Newsome. The Browns have a decision to make by May 2nd. They have to decide whether or not to pick up their former first-round pick's fifth-year option. If they do decide to pick it up, his salary cap number will be $13.37 million next year, which ranks in between 15 and 20 in the league, right in that range for average annual salary at $13.37 million. Tyvis, you played DB in the league, so I'll start with you here. Should the Browns pick up Greg Newsome's fifth-year option or let him play out this season without picking it up, which would be his final year on his current deal?
They should 100% pick up his fifth-year option, and I think they will 100% pick up his fifth-year option. Listen, G. New is a guy that, you drafted him to be CB2, and, to this point, he's been that. But he's also taken the role of sliding into that nickel position. And for whatever reason, it was a lot of riffraff about him playing nickel because it was foreign to him. And, like I say, you understand that nickels maybe they don't break the bank like outside corners do. But for him, he embraced that role last year. And he became a really big piece on that defense. And a lot of people, people like this all season, it started off with like, oh, we could trade G. New and move up to the first or second round and get another pick for him. But it's like, you don't get rid of good corner play when you have it. You hold on to it for as long as you can, because if you move off of that guy, you better be darn sure ready to know that the next guy that's behind him can replace him and be as good, if not better. And I think the Browns are in a situation we don't know that 100% yet. So I think that you got to ride this train out with G. New after let him do the 5 years, and then if he's really being productive in that nickel spot, then it's time to sit down and have a conversation with him. But I think it's too early for them not to do that. He hasn't done anything for them to want to move on from him. He was the spark on defense with energy. When Denzel goes down, because he does, which Denzel, we need to fix that. We really do. When Denzel goes down, nobody blinks an eye. Why? Because G. New gonna slide back out there. Things is still gonna be, we still gonna be able to win games. He's still gonna be productive out there. This is a man who got a pick 6. After this man, Jason right here, said getting interceptions is just not his thing.
Ain't his thing.
He told you, he said he was sick of your baloney.
It took him 47 games.
It was baloney.
Does he, and listen, I like Greg. Does he get full credit for a deflected pass that was a punt return? Like,
you know what I mean? Wait a minute. You know how many people would drop that pass?
You.
What's wrong with you today? The eclipse that made you lose your mind. Don't talk about me like that.
He gets credit, but I'm just saying it wasn't like. And listen, it was a great play. Obviously, the pick 6 changed the game. It allowed the.
So you didn't like the.
No, his celebration.
Look, come on now. He had everybody rocking on the defense. Listen, fact of the matter is, he has become a very good piece on this defense, and I don't think everybody's like, we got Cam Mitchell. Okay, I agree with you. Cam Mitchell has looked good at times, but I need to see Cam Mitchell for a full season before I'm ready to just move off of G. New. So I think I'm big on keeping corners. Corners to me is very important. When you got a good one, you hold on to them for as long as you can.
And it is worth pointing out he did have another real interception later in the season. So when Jason said he doesn't get picks, well, he got the moon shot
for his first
and then he did get a real pick later.
I just said picks ain't his thing, and they're not, but that's okay.
What would you do, Jason?
He got you 2 this year.
I agree with everything you said, and I also think it goes a little bit deeper than that. When you're trying to build an organization and you are as toxic and dysfunctional as the Browns have been for 20 years, you got a lot of work to do. And it's about, like, Cleveland has never been a free agent destination. We say that in all sports, and it's true. But one way that you can build yourself into being a free agent destination, or at least having the respect of players around the league, is to take care of the guys that you have here. Mm-hmm. And by picking up this option, you're taking care of Greg, because you put him in an uncomfortable position he wasn't used to by putting him in the slot. He didn't like it. He's talked openly about why he didn't like it and some of the things about it. But the fact is, you asked him to do something he wasn't comfortable doing, and he did really well at it. Yeah. So now you reward him and pick up that fifth-year option and pay him like a CB2, even if he is CB3 on this team. And that'll go a long way with guys around the league. If you screw your own players, word gets around fast. If you take care of your guys, word also gets around fast. And I'll compare it to the Njoku contract, which looked over-bloated at the time. Doesn't look so bad now, but at the time when he signed it, we all was like, damn, that's a lot of money for David Njoku. I absolutely believe part of that was Kevin Stefanski telling him when David was asking for a trade and when David was asking out, and Stefanski got him back in the boat, And I don't know this. Nobody told me this, but it makes perfect sense to me that Kevin said, trust me on this, and we're going to take care of you. And they did. It's the same thing with New. You could trade him. I agree with you. Like, I kind of like Cam Mitchell in that slot.
Yeah.
But you need to see it again. If you see it again next year and he does it again next year, now you can have the conversation about what do you do with Greg Newsome? Do you need to trade him? But they picked up Jed Will's 5th-year option. Of course they're going to pick up Greg Newsome's 5th-year option.
That's why I said that's not even a question. They're going to pick it up.
You guys all made great points, and I agree. You 100% picked this up without question for 2 reasons. First one being, there are certain positions you can never have enough depth at.
Yeah.
Cornerback is one of them. And to Tyvis's point, Denzel is not a beacon of health. No offense.
We're going to change. We
Hopefully
changing
it
that. We
changes.
changing that this year. 17 games right
That ain't
here.
happening.
You heard it first.
That ain't
Denzel Ward, 17 games this season.
I'd
Book
take
it.
14, 13, 14.
Either way, it's a position that goes through injuries. It just happens. It's part of the game. So depth of that position is crucial. And 2, for the Browns to reach the Super Bowl, not win the Super Bowl, just to reach the Super Bowl, they have to get through some combination of Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Stroud. That might be your 5 best quarterbacks in all of football right there, by the way. Herbert, Lawrence. I'm probably forgetting someone else.
Russ.
That was an intentional omission. But you get my point. To get to the Super Bowl, the Browns have to stop the most prolific passing offenses in the entire league. And what is the best way to stop a prolific offense? You have guys who can cover one-on-one, so guys like Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith and whoever else they bring in off the defensive line can get pressure on the quarterback and wreak havoc in the backfield. So to me, this is a no-brainer. And even if you do give them that $13.37 million 5th-year option, and pull up the cornerbacks that are making similar money to what Greg Newsome would make if they do indeed pick up his 5th-year option, 13.37 puts you right in the same conversation with Travarius Ward, Jamel Dean, Darius Slay, Cheeto Awuzie. Those are all good quarterbacks.
Travarius Ward only getting
all good
13.
That's my point. It is a very, very, very fair price tag for a guy in Greg Newsome,
crazy.
who is a
like that.
good cornerback too. I don't think he's at CB1. He's a good cornerback too. He's cornerback 3 on this roster.
Now it doesn't.
And you're not paying Martin Emerson yet,
Right.
which can allow you to overpay for your
Right.
CB3 in this scenario because CB2 is not getting paid. It's a no-brainer to me. You have to pick this up.
It is an overpay for a slot corner, right? Are we in agreement on that? It's
Yes.
an overpay for a slot corner. But this is more than that. There's more to it than just this isn't a typical slot corner.
No, this is a guy that slides out. He goes outside as well because you know that your number 1 guy gets hurt. So you, like I said, you need a guy that can protect it. And when they go base defense, is it him or Martin?
Martin's on the outside when they go 2.
When they go just 2 corners,
Yeah, it's Martin.
it's Martin
Martin,
and Denzel. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But their base is a 4-2-5.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
their
base
the
is
whole
nickel set.
NFL is 4-2-5.
Yeah,
I was
they
just
very
asking,
rarely play
just
3.
for.
No, Martin's outside.
To Jason's point, though, like he does play slot, but he has the positional versatility to move outside if needed. He's also a guy you draft in the first round. To Jason's point, you want to do right by your own guys. And he's also a really good football player. Now, he gets overlooked here because of the emergence of how good Martin Emerson's been in his first 2 seasons, because Denzel Ward, when he's on the field, is a top 5-6 cornerback in all of football. And yes, sometimes when you leave him on an island, like we saw against Houston in the playoffs, he can be taken advantage of by the top receivers in football. But for his specific role on this Cleveland Browns defense, as a guy to cover guys from the slot and take away your number 2 or 3 option, depending on how the offensive formation is set, there aren't many cornerbacks capable of doing what he does at the level he does. So for 13.37 mil, whatever the actual number is, maybe it's a slight overplay for a slot corner, but the combination of him and Martin Emerson, who's on a third round draft pick salary still, that combination is pennies for a
What, he
great
got 2 years left?
2 years left
in his deal.
So if you do it and then decide, all right, Cam Mitchell's next up and you got to move, you can still trade him next year.
Yeah, I mean,
that salary's not unmovable. It's not something you can't get out of.
No, not at all.
I think it's a no-brainer.
And
I
also give Kevin Stefanski credit for getting him to buy back in, because obviously under Joe Woods, that's where G. New had the most. He didn't like it. He didn't like what they were doing, what the nickel had to do in those things, because he was heavily involved in run fits and stuff like that, which they are, because I played in that defense, so I understand what he's talking about there. But it's nice to get Jim Schwartz to come in there and get him to buy back in, and now he actually wants to stay a member of the Cleveland Browns. So that's all cool as well. Kevin does a really good job of getting people to buy in, because to your point about David Njoku, when he asked for the trade, he even said that he was ready to be done with Cleveland, but him and Kevin rebuilt their relationship just like this past year, and he's bought back into this organization as well. So I give Kevin Stefanski a lot of credit on getting guys to buy back in and making sure that it's not just about themselves.
How hard is that? When a dude says, I'm out,
Man.
how hard is it to get him back in? It's almost impossible.
Because I mean, you try to get your teammates, your teammates is usually the ones that can really help you be like, you know what, like, I like it here. Like, y'all, I rock with y'all. It'd be the upstairs. It's always the upstairs. Like, it's never the team. It's sometimes not even really the coaches. It's the people upstairs that you be having to beef with because they are so business. But down here, it's personal because you with these guys every single day. And when somebody say they done and like they wanna trade, it's very hard. Because now you telling everybody, like, all your team is like, listen, I love y'all, but, like, I can't stay here. They're not going to take care of me. So to get a coach to be like, listen, I know right now the situation is not great, but I'm going to help you put you in a position to get the money that you want. It might not, maybe you won't break the bank, but we can get you close to the money that you want. But I need you to realize how important you are to this team. I need you to realize that if you leave and walk out, the hole that you're going to leave us with. And I want you to realize how special this season could be if you just buy into what I'm telling you. Right now, you can't see it, but if you trust me, I promise you that if you buy in, I will make sure that you get taken care of. If a coach tells you that and you believe that coach and you know he's not full of BS, that will get you to come back.
Let me ask you this before we move on to our next topic. What we've seen from Greg Newsome through 3 seasons, what's the one area you think this offseason he needs to improve upon the most? To be, I don't want to say worth that 5th-year option pickup, but to improve his game to
easy.
a point. Yeah.
He just needs to make more plays on the ball. He need to get more interceptions.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? Well, it's a lot of things.
Drills? Is it a mindset?
So it always is a mindset, first of all. It's a confidence thing. But for him, when I watch it, he just has to be in better position, and that's the thing. It comes with winning at the line of scrimmage, making sure that you're on top of the routes, make sure that you're in a place that you're comfortable, that you can make a play. And when the ball goes up, you have to think to yourself, this is my ball. Like, I need to make this play. So, he's going to get more opportunities because of the pass rush. So quarterbacks are going to get rid of it either early or they're going to throw it extremely late, which is going to allow him to be able to recover to make plays on the ball. He just needs to make more interceptions. If he gets more interceptions, I say he gets 4 to 5 interceptions this year, his stock goes through the roof because now this is a guy that's doing one of the most single best things you could do as a defensive player, get the ball back to your offense. So if he does that, you can't deny a guy that's getting interceptions. Tackles is cool. Even PBUs is okay. But how do you get somebody to fear you is take the ball. If you're going to knock the ball down as an offensive coordinator, all right, we're going to go back and try it again because 50% of the time he might get it. But if you actually getting picks, I'm scared. That guy's dangerous. We can't mess with that guy.